Hello guys, welcome back to our introduction to programming with Python series. Well, this is video number 8. So in this video, we're going to learn about operator precedences in Python. So if you're coming from high school, we have this kind of rules like, for example, given a math equation, there may be addition, multiplication, division instead of the same equation in one line of mathematical expression. So how do you know whether to start with addition first and then do the division? Or how do you know like how which order are you supposed to do the different arithmetic operations in that given line of expression? So that's what we're going to be looking at. We're going to take a bit look at high school kind of knowledge and understand operator precedences in Python, and I've read the same kind of things here. And so let's jump into it. So before we even jump into it, the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is look at the solution for last time's assignment. So last video's assignment. So the assignment was that you're supposed to take in a user inputs, a dividend, and a divisor, and then finally you return the quotient, right, or the quotient and the remainder of that division. So let's go ahead and jump into the code and find the solution for that. So let me just delete this thing right here. So the first I'm going to take is the divisor. So dividend, and dividend is going to be equals to let's take a float value. So float, and then say input. So you're taking input and converting it into a float. So then say let's say dividend. So dividend, let the user know that this is a dividend. So dividend, and then finally I'm just going to go ahead and copy that and simply just undo that. So let me just copy this and paste it here. So this is going to be the divisor. So the divisor, and this is going to be, let me just copy right here, and it's going to be the divisor. I hope that's the spelling of divisor. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comment section below, but I doubt if I'm wrong on that. Okay, so once I have this done, now I'm going to find the quotient of dividing the quotient. I hope it's spelled like that. I don't know. I think it's quotient like that, and let's say it's going to be of type float, and it's going to be equals to the quotient, right? The quotient is the number that you divide. So for example, if I divide 10 by 7, 1 is going to be the quotient, because 7 divided by 10 is going to go in 1, and then it's going to have a remainder of 3, right? So we're going to go ahead and say that the quotient is going to be equals to, this is going to be an integer. Basically quotients are usually integers, and so we're going to say int, and it's going to be equals to the following. Again, you can also specify the type int for this. Let me just go ahead and say this also float, and also this also float. Okay, so once we have that there, I'm just going to go ahead and say the following. So I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to go ahead and grab the divisor. So we say the divisor, the dividend, right, divided by the divisor, divisor. So the dividend divided by the divisor, and that should return to us the whole number, the result of the whole division, including the floating point, right? So just by using two of these, we're going to get just the quotient part. So we get the quotient, and now let me just copy this and paste it here, and this is going to be the remainder part. So I'm just going to change this to be remainder, and this is going to be of what can be the remainder can be, let's just say, okay, let's say the remainder is going to be integer. So the remainder is also going to be integer. And how do you get the remainder? By using the modulus operator. So this way, modulus, and once you say modulus, you can go ahead and print those two out. So you can say print, and you're going to say quotient is, and then finally we can add to it the quotient value. So I hope that's the spelling of quotient. Let me know in the comment section, maybe I'm wrong on it. And you're going to have the remainder, and I'm going to go ahead and simply add it here. So the remainder, is, so the remainder is, and then we have that remainder there, and you're going to simply type in the remainder variable, which contains the remainder. So that's all. So let me just go ahead and run this code and make sure that it works. So let me just go ahead and just change back into my assignments folder. So I'm going to say Python 3. On Windows you have to say Py, and then finally say assignment, and then run the code. So let's say 10, which will be the dividend, and then 7 is going to be a divisor. Okay, we got an error right here saying we can only concatenate string and float object. Okay, good. The reason why is because we need to convert this into a string, because we can add a string to a number, right? So let's say it's going to be like str, and that's how you convert into a string. So by saying str, and also here I say str because the number, I always convert the number into a string, so str as well. So that's all. So once I have this done, we can go back and run the code again. So run the code. So when the divisor is the dividend is going to be 10, the divisor is going to be 7. Now you should get a quotient of 1, right, and then a remainder of 3. That's basically it. So that's all for the program and how we can run the program. But you can see this is actually returning to us floating values, because this should be also float, so we change back to be float. and also here should be float, because if you take a float number divided by anything, you get back a float number. So yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, that's all for this video, all for the solution for the last time assignment. So let's now jump into today's what you want to cover in today's video. And you're going to be looking at how to deal with operator precedences in Python. So I'm just going to go ahead and create another file in here, and it's going to be part -0 08.py. Okay, so I have a 08.py file created in here. So let's say that I have this kind of equation. So I'm going to say this equation right here, and it's going to be, let's say, 10 multiplied by 7 and then minus 10. Okay, tell me the answer to this equation. How do you know? Okay, Simple will say, okay, Simple, let's just do it. Okay, Simple, just go ahead and do it as, okay, let's say we have John and Janet, right? So let's say we start with Janet. So Janet might say, okay, you know what, I'm just going to take 7 times 10, and that should return to me 70, and 70 minus 10 should be 60. Okay, so let's write the result of Janet here. So let's say Janet, and Janet is going to be saying, the result should be 60, right? Okay, let's also have John, and let's see how John might do it. So John might come and say, you know what, I think I'll just do this 7 minus 7 minus 10. 7 minus 10 is -3. -3 times this should be -30. And John will say, okay, you know what, my answer is -30. So these guys have the same question, but they all have different answer. And why is that the case in mathematics? And that happens sometimes, right? So it's called operator precedence, and you have to follow the operator precedence in order to get the right answer. So let's just check which of them is correct by printing out the answer. And I'm just going to go into my terminal, clear that, change directory into my basics. And once I'm inside of my basics, I'm going to say Python 3 on Windows is going to be Py, okay, and then simply say that it's going to be video 8. To complete that and then run again. So the answer is 60. Okay, so Janet is correct and John is wrong in this case. Okay, so if you're John, no offense, it's just a demonstration. Okay, so we get back the information right here. Janet being correct and John being wrong. Okay, so why is John wrong, and how can we teach John to find the right answer? So this brings us to the point of operator precedences. So we have something, I don't know if you did this in high school, it's called BODMAS. So BODMAS. Okay, so what BODMAS simply means is that we start with the brackets, right? We start with brackets. From here we don't have any brackets, so let's move on to the next operation, which is order. Or I think it's called order. Order is just deals with the exponential values. Okay, that's the exponential values. And then finally we have the D for divide, so we have the division, and then finally we have the multiplication, so multiplication, just like that. And then finally we have the addition, and then last but not least we have the subtraction. Okay, so we have that right there. So in this case, now we give John this formula. At least John knows, okay, I suppose start with brackets. Okay, John looks around here, there are no brackets. So John goes to order of operation, which is with exponents. There are no values raised to exponents values here. So John goes into the division. Okay, is there any division here? No. So John goes into multiplication. So okay, fine, multiplication. We have 10 times 7. So John will say 10 times 7, that's 70, right? So John goes to addition. There's no addition, so he goes to subtraction. So 70 minus the subtraction which is remaining is going to be 70 minus 10, that's going to be 60, right? And that's how John will get the right answer to be 60. Okay, so now also John knows why he was wrong, and why Janet did 60 and why he did -30. Okay, so that's how the operator precedences work in Python. So the same concept in Python. So let's say that I have x, and x is going to be equals to 10. 10 divided by 2. So 10 divided by 2, and then let's say that it's multiplied by 5, and then plus 4, and then finally raised to power 2. So raised to power 2. So without actually doing this yourself, without actually running the code, can you tell me the answer to this equation? Okay, so using BODMAS, let's start. Do you have any brackets? No, we don't have any brackets. Let's start the order operation. Okay, we have exponents, right? So 4 raised to power 2, that's 16. So I'm going to write here 16. So 4 raised to power 2 is going to be 16. So if you have a calculator, feel free to type this in. So we have 16. And you're going to take 16. Okay, so you're done with this one. So let's go ahead and find division. So there's division part here, 10 divided by 2, and that's going to be 5. So it's going to be 5. So 5, and then finally we find the multiplication. So 5 times this one is going to be 25, right? 25 plus 16, so 25, because this was 16, so 25 plus 16 should be, let's see, 25 plus 16, so that should be the answer. Okay, so now let's, maybe I'm wrong or I'm not wrong, let's go ahead and actually try this out. So let's actually run the code, and let's see, it's be 40.1, because 16 plus this is going to be 40, right? 41, and that's, yeah, that's how we got the answer. So that's how you can use BODMAS rule to help you with dealing with operator precedences, because operator precedences usually apply in Python. So another way you might think of this equation is, another person might come and say the following. So he's going to say 10 divided by, right, we are going to have double quotes here. I'm going to say 2 multiplied by 5, okay, let me just format the code. So 2 multiplied by 5, and then the result of that plus 4, and then finally raised to power 2. So what do you think the answer is going to be? Yes, so let's do this without actually running the code. So let's go follow the BODMAS rule. You take the brackets, so we start the brackets, this brackets in here. In there we have another bracket, so we start that inner bracket. So 2 times 10, 2 times 5 is going to be 10, right? So 10 plus 4 is going to be 14, yeah. And then finally we come out of the brackets, and then finally we have order of operations. So 14 raised to power 2 is going to be, I don't know, 14 raised to power 2, and then finally that's how you should get divided by 10. So we should get something of decimal sort. So if I can print it out, print out x, and we should get something of really 0 point something, yeah, and that's how we got. Yeah, so that's how you can operator precedences work in Python. So yeah, that's all I wanted us to cover in this video. So we have looked at the assignment for the solution to the last video's assignment, and today's assignment is going to be the following, because you guys really don't learn anything just by watching these videos. The only way you learn is actually practicing, right? So in today's assignment is going to be the following. The question comes as follows: what is the answer of this expression? Just try it out without writing the code, right? So let's try this out without writing the code, and let me know what the answer you got in the comment section below. I don't think I'll be doing this in the next video, so just let me know the answer you got in the comment section below without writing the code. Okay guys, no cheating here. Just use the BODMAS rule and just try to find the answer to it. Just apply the BODMAS rule and let us know what you get. Okay, so just don't feel shy, we are all learning here, and I always say this in every video, we are all learning, so feel free to mess up, feel free to get things wrong. That's the way, that's the best that's the best way you learn, okay? Because you really don't know if you're actually learning or not learning by actually not knowing whether you are thinking is correct or right. So let us know. So thanks for watching, guys. Again, if you're new to the channel, please kindly don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and hit the notification bell so that you can stay updated whenever I upload the next video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.